Okay, I would like to welcome everyone today to the State Board of Education meeting for Tuesday, December 12th. We appreciate your patience. We know our committees have run a little over this morning, and so we apologize for being a little late getting started this afternoon. I would like to ask Dr. O'Shields if he would lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
If everyone would please stand at this time. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. You may be seated.
As we begin, I do ask for all of our board members or any speakers to please speak directly into the microphone so that we can accurately transcribe the minutes for today's meeting. That being said, we'll move right on to approval of the minutes. Is there any objection to approving the minutes as presented for the November 14, 2023 meeting? Hearing no objections, those minutes are approved unanimously. Is there any objection to approving the agenda as presented for today's board meeting? Hearing no objections, the agenda is approved by unanimous consent. We do welcome everyone in attendance today and anyone who is listening in, and we thank everyone for their interest in the State Board of Education. I would like to recognize some individuals that signed up as visitors today. We have Sheila Ryland from Constitution Day, Susanna Sarivia, taxpayer, Patricia Thericht, taxpayer, William Coleman, taxpayer, Isabella Troy, former student, Mary Foster, FABB from Beaufort, South Carolina, Tamara Cox, Emily Bacano, and Jamie Gregory from Scassel, Steve Newsom, former teacher, Christine Haight, retired professor of English, and Christy Austin from DCSD. And we do not have any other media signed up, but if there is any present, if you would please announce yourself and your company. Okay, thank you. Today, for the Chair's report, we have some special recognition because we do have some of our board members who are officially retiring their time on the board and their years of service. And we do appreciate their time and all they've done as a commitment to public education in South Carolina. But I'm going to step to the side to call you for your plaque. I'm going to start with Ms. Cheryl Collier, the 13th Judicial Circuit. And next we have Ms. Delaney Frierson from the 3rd Judicial Circuit. Next, we have Mr. Alan Walters from the 15th Judicial.
You can't go anywhere yet. So I get the only duty I have as the past chair is this, and this is to present you with your service award from the 2nd Judicial Service, Dr. Stetton. Thank you.
Not as much room on that table. I'm going to leave mine sitting over there. But again, I know I speak on behalf of the board for everyone and your commitment to what you do. And there is a lot of work and dedication that goes into serving in this way. So thank you for your time, Ms. Collier, Ms. Frierson, and Mr. Walters. We sincerely appreciate it. Let's give them one more round of applause.
Probably, did you ever see The Avengers? Anybody see The Avengers? Remember when Tony Stark, Iron Man, meets Thor for the first time, and he says he needs to put that hammer down? Captain America says that's not a good idea. So I have the privilege, the pleasure, the opportunity to know someone who has been this year's chair. And the words that come to mind are poised, professional, polite, and you exemplify all the characteristics of what an incredible chair is. And you never had to put the hammer down. We do want to give you your own version in miniature of your gavel and grateful appreciation to the chair, the chair.
Thank you so much. And it has truly been an honor to serve alongside each of you and to be able to lead in that way this year. But, you know, I tell you, I just think there's such a strong group of individuals. I was asked recently in a podcast about, you know, how I felt leaving the state board and, you know, with all that we have going on or any decisions that are currently in place. And I said, well, I have no concerns at all because of the individuals that are sitting around that table. So I have such respect for each of you. So thank you for letting me work alongside you these last few years. I would like to recognize Superintendent Weaver now for her report.
Thank you so much, Chair Lady Stapleton. I just want to add my sincere thanks to our members of the board who, until your replacement is named, hopefully won't be going anywhere. We have obviously a lot of work to do on behalf of the students of our state, and I just wanted to add my personal thank you for your mentorship in this last year of service here as state superintendent. I have learned so much from each of you about how to carry yourself effectively on the State Board of Education and how we can all come together from every corner of our state to do what is best for our students and our teachers. So thank you for the example that each of you have set. I know we have a full agenda today, so I just wanted to briefly introduce a wonderful group of individuals that we have here with us today, the College of Charleston Teacher Leaders. I had the privilege of meeting with these teacher leaders after the Education Oversight Committee yesterday, and so they are spending several days in Columbia really acclimating themselves to the different decision makers that we have here in Columbia. So unfortunately, the General Assembly is not currently in session for you all. You'll have to come back for that once they reconvene in January, but they were able to attend yesterday at the Education Oversight Committee, and then obviously today. So this year's cohort, we have 13 pre-service teachers, most of them in their junior year. They've been nominated by at least 2 of their faculty based on their academic performance and leadership potential. They represent the whole span of the teaching profession: early childhood, elementary, middle grade, secondary, and special ed. And they're each partnered with a mentor who has or currently is a leader in the educational community. Their leadership skill workshops focus on civil discourse and moral leadership. And at the culmination of this fellowship, each teacher leader must identify an issue facing a local classroom teacher, research the issue, and write a white paper to raise awareness for those in positions of power, or a report with actionable items to assist in ameliorating the issue. So I want to say on behalf of the State Board, we look forward to receiving the research that you do as part of this process, and just thank you so much for your commitment to go into the classroom and for what I know you'll do for the students of South Carolina in years to come. So let's give them a round of applause. Madam Chair, I'd also like to report that at the Education Oversight Committee meeting yesterday, the members of that committee also affirmatively adopted our 2030 vision. So I am so excited to say that both of the governing boards of the state of South Carolina have set a high benchmark for academic achievement in this state, and that we are all excited to work together to align resources to actually accomplish that 2030 vision, which is at least 75% of students at or above grade level proficiency by the year 2030. So very excited for that news. And then just briefly, we're going to show, in the spirit of the holiday season, a video, just some of the things that have been going on here at the department over the last month. Just a couple of those highlights. In front of you is the African American History Calendar. This is the 34th annual calendar, and we had a wonderful celebration here in Columbia just a few weeks ago, in which all of the honorees or their representatives attended and received just wonderful commendations for the incredible contribution that they have made in an ongoing capacity to the history of our state and the future of our state. You'll also see in the video a short blurb about what we're calling Project Raise Your Hand, which is a community and school support initiative that we will be launching early next year here at the Department of Education to really intentionally reconnect the work that happens here in this agency every day with what is happening on the front lines in classrooms. So it will be an opportunity for us to go into schools as agency employees and support teachers through serving as a mentor, serving as a reading buddy. Maybe it's just sitting in the lunchroom so the teacher can get their planning period. Whatever it is, we want to reconnect and visibly connect our mission here as a state agency with what's actually happening in the classroom. So you'll see a little bit about that. And then the last thing that is featured in the video is something that we had a privilege of participating in last week. We had about 25 of our employees who went to Harvest Hope, and we're able to pack meals that will serve almost 1,000 students over the holidays. And so I'm just so thankful for the servant's heart of the agency staff here and the ability to participate in that. We had a great time doing it. So with that, let's go ahead and roll the video.
Well, tonight marks the 34th year we've gathered for the unveiling of the new African American History Calendar and the 35th edition of this calendar. So first created in 1989, the 12-month calendar profiles individuals from across the state who have had a positive, compelling impact on South Carolina and often across the country for that matter. You know, over the past 3 decades, the project has developed into a virtual Hall of Fame and attracts attention from around the state and our nation. So many people regard this event as the start of fall, and we are proud to congratulate and to celebrate the ongoing partnerships and the honorees that join our list this year. Please join me in welcoming our honorees.
This fall, we invited South Carolina high school students to stand at the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial in Washington, D.C., in their imagination, in his symbolic shadow, and to give a speech highlighting their own American dream for our shared future. In it, we asked them to highlight how we can follow Dr. King's exhortation to walk together.
Hi, my name is Emery Holness and I'm a junior at Summerville High School. This is my I Have a Dream speech. I have a dream that will explode the flames of possibility, shatter the chains of mediocrity, and propel us toward a future where every child's desire for knowledge is fulfilled and their dreams know no bounds. A dream that is deeply rooted in the hearts of children and teenagers across our nation. I dream of a day in the near future where every young mind is sparked with a passion for learning, when our halls of our schools echo with laughter and curiosity, and when the pursuit of knowledge becomes a joyous adventure. Let us kindle the flames of curiosity, nurture the seeds of creativity, and empower our children and teenagers to become lifelong learners who cherish the gift of education. For in doing so, we will not only fulfill the dream of a generation, but also build a better, more enlightened world for generations to come.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Miss Emery Holness of Summerville High School, this year's I Have a Dream Student Writing Contest winner.
As I have an opportunity to travel around the state and to speak to different civic groups and faith organizations, I always like to remind them that because these are our schools, they are our responsibility. And the most valuable thing that any of us have in this life is time. And so investing our personal time to support our teachers on the front lines, whether that is serving as a substitute teacher, coming in to mentor students, sitting in the lunchroom so that the teachers can have a planning period, whatever it is, there are so many different ways for us to get involved. And so this school support project is going to be an exciting way for those of us within the agency who are interested in finding new ways to connect our work and our mission here at the Department of Education with what our teachers are doing on the front lines to raise their hand and be part of this exciting opportunity. So, Madam Chair, with that concludes my report. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Do any of our board members have any questions for Superintendent Weaver? That was wonderful and so encouraging, and we are very glad to hear about the EOC as well. I think everyone at this table firmly believes that if we can move together as one team, just the places we can go will be amazing. So thank you again. I would now like to recognize Mr. John Tyler for the parliamentarian report.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. Far less inspirational will be today's parliamentarian comment. Always look forward to following up the reports from the beginning with something procedure related. So here we go. 'Tis the season. It's December, and multiple terms of the board, as we've noted, are coming to an end. I just want to take a moment to mention what has been, well, first the controlling law, and then what has been the practice of the State Board of Education when a term expires. South Carolina Code, Section 59.510, you know the one. It governs the selection of board members and appoints one member from each of the 16 judicial circuits as elected by the legislative delegation to a 4-year term commencing in January of each year. Historically, it has been the practice of the State Board of Education that upon a member's term being completed, the member may continue to serve until either the legislative delegation appoints a new member for the judicial circuit, or the legislative delegation unanimously votes to appoint the member to a successive term. It takes unanimity for a second or successive term. Finally, as a reminder, any member may resign by written submission to the State Board of Education chair. And that concludes today's exciting parliamentarian comment.
Thank you, Mr. Tyler. Does anyone have any questions about that? You explained it so well. No questions. Thank you. We appreciate it. We do not have anyone that signed up for public comment today, so we will move on to our state board items and committee reports. Oh, excuse me? We have some people who thought they did sign up for public comment, maybe. Let's see. We have people that did sign up as visitors, but not public comment. May I defer to? Yes. How about if we defer to, can I defer to my parliamentarian on that matter? Do you want us to? There's the public comment. So do you want to? And we'll just go first 6 minutes each. Okay, perfect. All right, we are going to rework that, and we're sorry there was any confusion when you arrived. We have several sign-up sheets that are outside the door, and so they have different headings. And so the heading for public comment was blank, but we will go to the first 6 on the public comment list, which If I call your name, though, and you really were just signing up as a visitor, you can let me know that as far as that goes. But we do appreciate any interest in public education and want you to have an opportunity to share whatever you'd like to share with us today. But we do allot 5 minutes, so we appreciate you in advance understanding that. And anything we hear today is just for information. We do not respond to it in that moment, but we will start with the first. Oh my goodness, you might have to help me with the name. India. Thank you so much. If you want to come on forward, and I believe you're a teacher, and you can tell us where you're from, and then we'll begin the time up here.
Hello, everyone. I'm India Green. I reside currently at Fort Mill, South Carolina. I just wanted to speak on I'm here to talk about the disciplinary actions, the minor levels, 1, 2, and 3. The disciplinary actions based on, I would like to know, is it based on economic background? Is it based on environmental, cultural dynamics? I have talked to several students, and I know of several students who have been put out of school due to the disciplinary actions. I believe that there should be more resources put in place for students who are struggling as teenagers. You know, you're gonna go through things, you're gonna make mistakes, so I think that there should be more resources. They shouldn't be kicked out of the school because schools are there to educate students. So with that being said, there should be some other things put in place. I'm not sure how the levels were set up, but maybe they need to be revisited, or maybe, like I said, it should be more resources to help students because they are our future. They're there to be educated, and if they're being thrown out of school, they can't be educated. Thank you.
Thank you for being here today and sharing with us. And we also have your name, and we can
Okay.
follow up maybe following this
Okay.
meeting, just to let you know what's a local decision versus anything that is state.
Okay, thank
you
you.
so much. Next, we have Sheila Ryland, Constitution Day. Thank you for being here today.
Hi, my name is Sheila Ryland. I live in the Clover Lake Wiley area of South Carolina. I have 3 grandchildren that attend the Clover Public School District. And I'm here to propose something to Ellen Weaver and to the rest of the board that has to do about Constitution Day. Constitution Day is a day on the 17th of September every year that has been set aside by federal law that schools that receive federal money are supposed to provide a lesson on the Constitution on that day. The federal law is known as H.R. 4818. It was signed into law on December 8th in 2004, and it states that each educational institution that receives federal funds for a fiscal year shall hold an educational program on the United States Constitution on September 17th of such year for the students served by the educational institution. You know, George Washington said that a primary object should be that the education of our youth in a republic of the species of knowledge that can be equally important. What more could be equally important than the knowledge of the Constitution? The students are our future guardians of this Constitution and are the future guardians of liberty. So they really need to know what is in the Constitution. Unfortunately, statistics show that only 10% of schools in the United States actually follow this federal mandate. I became interested in the Constitution, realizing that my own knowledge was lacking, and have spent the last couple years learning more about the Constitution that I did not learn while I was in school. I've been working also with my local school district, Clover, South Carolina, the Clover School District in Clover, South Carolina, to work with them to provide, educational content on Constitution Day. For the last 2 years, I was told that they did not really need my services. They had all the resources that they needed. We did end up doing a Constitution essay contest that was voluntary for the middle school students. But when I checked with my grandchildren after Constitution Day for the last 2 years and asked them, what did you guys do for Constitution Day in your classroom? The answer is nothing. And so I am concerned that my school district falls within that 90% of school districts that really don't address this. And I think that the problem is there's nobody in the school district that is responsible for making sure that this happens. I've spoken with the superintendent of Clover School Districts, and she's been very supportive. We've working together to make sure that next year there is something in place in our school district that makes sure that this federal law is followed. But my concern is for all the other schools in South Carolina. I can't be involved with all the schools, and I really feel like this is something that's very important for our students to learn about, because they are going to have to carry this defense of our liberty forward as our forebears brought it forward to us. So I am just hoping that because the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence is coming up, I know there's a big celebration planned. I know that there are school administrators and legislators involved in this commission, that I would like to see something done, maybe a resolution that the legislature makes, or even a bill that promotes the teaching of both the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, and making sure that we honor that federal mandate that something is taught in the schools on Constitution Day on September 17th. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Are there any questions?
Any questions?
Okay.
Thank you. Next, we have Susanna Saravia. I believe I said that right. And here is a taxpayer, correct?
Yeah, I'm a taxpayer and also participate as a Thornblade EC for the Republican Party. And my family, thank you for having me. My family is Ukrainian and Russian, and I was born in Argentina. And I understand what Marxism is. And believe me, you're going in a path, you're taking your children in a path of irreversible damage. And I want you to stop for a moment and think that what you allow the kids to have in their curriculum is going to affect their life forever. You see this person? This is a child that has irreversible sex change. And you say, how, Susanna, we are promoting this? How are we doing? It's through your DEI, SEL, CRT curriculum. For the past 3 years, I've been going to school board, and I came to the South Carolina legislature, and I saw you. And I explained the 45 rules of Marxism and how they are bringing sexual explicit materials to destroy our family unit. And we even brought pictures of sexual graphic pictures, and we distribute to all to show you how serious this is. Because once you put that on a child or a person that is not responsible to take actions as an adult, that kid can't control his urges. Because you have to take seriously what you say and teach students. You just can't say it's okay, all kinds of sexual lifestyles. No, that's why we have people that have pedophilia. And yesterday in North Carolina, a psychiatrist, was using children in AI to promote sexual indecency, and he was now he's in jail for 40 years. I mean, I'm gonna tell you what, we had a review of books. And I don't know if you guys are doing it purposely or you really care about the children, because you give us a month to review the books, especially in November when we have holidays, when parents are going like crazy, and you have to review everything. Well, I happen to open one book, and because I'm from Argentina, guess what? I read what the Argentinian the author said. And the whole entire book is dealing with fear. I mean, the house taken over. It felt like a demonic house. The people had to move from their room until they left the house with nothing. But the story is that the couple were married and they were brother and sister. So imagine what the kids gonna have a video, then they're gonna hear an audio, and you say, oh, Susana, but kids cannot read. They're not taught to read. Well, now they have audio, they have video, and now they can interact their parts with their friends. And then on top of that, I look at Odyssey. Oh, Susana, that's such an old story. We teach everywhere. Yeah, it's teaching kids how to speak with the dead. I'm sorry, I'm a Christian. I don't speak with the dead. I speak with my living Lord Jesus Christ. And I don't want my children, my grandchildren, my children's cousins to read that and participate in witchcraft. So if you tell me that we're supposed to separate church from schools, then why don't you separate demonic teaching from the kids? This is a very serious problem that we have in.
I'm sorry, the time is up, but we do appreciate you being here today and sharing your concerns. Next, we have Patricia Thericht. Oh, just a visitor. Okay, thank you. Next, we have William Coleman.
Thank you for having me here today. I believe it is both common sense and settled science that anything that plants a seed of doubt or advances doubt in a child's mind about the biological, physical evidence of their gender promotes the mental instability of that child and is or should be considered to be prosecutable child abuse.
Thank you, Mr. Coleman, for being here today. Next, we have Isabella Troy.
Hi, I'm a 2023 graduate of Battery Creek High School in Beaufort, and I'm currently a freshman at Georgia Southern University studying pre-law philosophy and political science. I came here today to talk about the importance of allowing librarians and teachers to make the book selection for children in their counties. So I come here today representing all the intelligent kids that grew up harshly. I did not come from a family of many privileges, and my whole life, even now I've had limited resources. I was also exposed to pretty harsh things ranging from domestic violence and child abuse to drug addiction and alcoholism. And for me, that was my scope of possibility. And it wasn't even until middle school that I realized that graduating from high school was a normal thing because nobody in my family had ever done that. Kids with my background use vices for crutch because it's all they see. My mom did amazing with what she had, but the greatest thing that she did for me was allowing me to step into the world of literature and expand my possibilities far beyond what anybody in my family ever had. But that's the thing, it was her choice. It was there for her to make. It hadn't been decided for her by the school or the district or the State Board of Education. Having access to reading material allowed for me to picture better for myself and eventually go after it. The books didn't introduce me to drugs or alcohol or abuse. The people in my life actually did. The books are what showed me which path was the wrong one to choose. We also couldn't afford books to buy them. We couldn't buy books. I mean, when you're choosing between, the lights, food, water, you don't really think about buying your kids books. So the only place I could go was my school library. And I get the topics are hard and they're uncomfortable to read about. I mean, my story is hard and uncomfortable to read about, but I had to see my story in books in order to know that I could do better for myself. And I promise that there are kids out there that are living these stories and these books and in the curriculum that need to see that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And other people's truths aren't really there for you to agree with or disagree with. Books eternalize knowledge, and knowledge is the only thing that will stand the test of time. So for kids that have it rough, reading that you can do better is the difference between staying down or growing. And as the South Carolina State Board of Education, your job is to provide the tools necessary for each student to be successful. But not every student gets a white picket fence and 2 parents in a safe neighborhood. The kids who are growing up harsh deserve to see themselves. The Black and brown kids deserve to see themselves. The kids who are different deserve to see themselves. And you guys as the board can't see each and every student, so you can't know that one book selection is going to work across the state. That's the equivalent to trying to make every student in the school system try to wear the same size shoe. It's just not, it's equal, it's not equitable. And I know that some people are going to get up here and tell you what's best for every student in South Carolina, and I guess maybe that's just a superpower that they have, but the only thing I can tell you for sure that you can know about each student is that we are all different. And as a former student of your school system, I was only able to succeed because the people who were actually in my life were responsible for what material I was introduced to. And looking back, I even see how censored that was, so somehow, it's been managed to become even more censored. And that I'm in college, I see how little time was actually spent preparing me for a higher education compared to how much time is spent regulating books and curriculum. I just feel like there's better things to worry about. I feel like you as a board can do better for the students of South Carolina, students like me. So I just feel like constantly regulating books is just not going to have the effect that you want it to have. Having the same book selection across the state is not going to help in the way that you think it will. Every student is different. What the students in Beaufort need is different from what the students in Columbia need. So I feel like the only way to help students succeed is to stop using students and as pawns in a game of whose rhetoric is louder. So thank you.
Thank you for being here today. Next, we have Tamara Cox from Scassell.
Morning. My name is Tamara Cox. I'm a proud graduate of South Carolina Public Schools. I've been married for 20 years to my husband, who's a combat veteran, and we have 2 children currently in public schools. This year is my 19th year teaching, some of those in the classroom and some of those from the school library. And it's my honor to serve as the president of the South Carolina Association of School Librarians, an organization of over 1,000 members, including public, private, and independent school librarians. Our mission is to empower school libraries to transform teaching and learning for our state's children, and we believe every child in South Carolina deserves a school librarian and a strong school library program. That's why today I'm here to urge decision makers in Columbia to take our recruiting and retention crisis seriously. Sarah recently reported vacancies have increased again for the 5th consecutive year. The highest % increase in vacancies is in the school library position. It's increased by 77% from 2022 to 2023. And the school library media field was already in the critical needs list and has been for 15 years, over 15 years. So why is that concerning? Anyone sincere about improving literacy and supporting the academic success of our children should be alarmed by those numbers. Decades of research shows that a high-quality library program led by a certified school librarian positively impacts student achievement, reading achievement, graduation rates, and the mastery of academic standards. These correlations between a strong school library program and student success persist regardless of student demographics or school funding levels, and they're most pronounced in our vulnerable student populations, including students of color, low-income students, and students with disabilities. So no child in our state should lack access to a school librarian and a well-funded school library program. So what can we do about it? The governor-appointed Teacher Recruitment and Retention Task Force provided several excellent recommendations, and SCASL asked that those recommendations be put into action as much as possible. One important recommendation that requires no funding allocation and can be put into action today is shifting the current narrative about the teaching profession. To quote the task force report from page 3, quote, "Teaching should be elevated through policy and through rhetoric. The work of changing the narrative starts with the words and actions of government, community, business, parent, and student leaders," end quote. Statements from our leaders and the policies they create should encourage communities and schools to work together rather than pitting the groups against one another. Policies should include input from trained, certified, experienced professional educators. Effective governments write and revise policies based on input from professionals in that field. When writing or revising policies regarding instructional materials, classroom teachers and librarians should be included. In addition to PSTA and SCEA, organizations like SCASL, the South Carolina Council for Teachers of English, the Palmetto State Literacy Association, and others have an established communication network with educators across the state. We are eager to connect you with teachers' valuable input, concerns, and questions. So I ask you today to elevate the teaching profession by supporting our educators, including them in this pivotal conversation, and place South Carolina's children at the forefront of these policies. Working together, finding unity, and bettering our state through quality education is a goal that we can accomplish. Thank you.
Thank you for being here today, Ms. Cox. So that is the end of our list, and so I apologize if you signed up, but we have reached our number there, and of course, you may sign up in the future as well. And we'll even try to highlight at the top, so we won't cause any confusion. Again, I apologize for that. Next, we will move on to our state board items and our committee reports. I'll begin with a report from the Policy and Legislative Committee. We did have 2 items for approval today in our committee meeting, and those were 2 different requests for approval of property disposal, one for Florence 1 School District and one for Lawrence School District 56. We did approve both of those in the committee, but we did not place them on the consent agenda because a little later in today's meeting, you will hear about those and be able to vote on those separately. Does anyone have any questions regarding my report for Policy and Legislative? Okay, then this does serve as a motion from the Policy and Legislative Committee for our report. It does not require a second. Is there any discussion? Okay, with no questions, all in favor of approving that, please vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Wonderful, that carries. Next, I would like to recognize Mrs. Lee for her report from the Educator Professions Committee.
Thank you, Chair Stapleton. The Education Professions Committee approved 4 action items earlier this morning. Item 1 is a new Educator Preparation Program approval recommendation, Coastal Carolina University Bachelor's Degrees Programs. The second item is a new Educator Preparation Program approval recommendation, Converse University Bachelor of Arts and Master of Arts in Teaching Degree Programs. Item 3 is Professional Review Committee new member approvals. And the fourth item for approval is a National Accreditation Decision, Charleston Southern University. The committee heard one information item this morning, which was a review of certification assessment options for reading. The Education Professions Committee placed the 4 action items on the consent agenda.
Wonderful, thank you. Do any of our members have any questions for Mrs. Lee? All right. Hearing none, her report does serve as a motion from the committee. It doesn't require a second. Is there any discussion? Okay. With no questions, all in favor, please vote by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, that motion carries. Next, I would like to recognize Ms. Delaney Frierson for the report from her committee, Standards, Learning, and Accountability.
Thank you, Madam Chair Lady. This morning, the Standards, Learning, and Accountability Committee approved 3 action items that were added to the consent agenda. And they are recommendations from the 2023 Instructional Materials Review Panel. The second one, recommendations from the Instructional Material Advisory Committee for 2024 adoption cycle. The third was test windows extensions and online waiver request. And then we had a 4th item, but it is the 2023 South Carolina College and Career Readiness math standards for the second reading was what we had for that.
Wonderful. I do want to make a note that we will hear a presentation later in this meeting about the second reading of those standards and vote on that separately. And I believe the other items were placed on the consent agenda from your committee, so we thank you for that. Does anyone have a question for Ms. Delaney Frierson? Always have to make sure we say that. We have 2 Ms. Friersons. Okay, hearing none, this report does serve as a motion from their committee. It does not require a second. Is there any discussion? With no questions and hearing no discussion, all in favor, please vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Frierson.
Thank you.
Next, I would like to recognize Mr. Walters to present the Educator Licensure Committee report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We had 10 cases before us this morning. One was an application for initial certification, which was approved. We had 7 cases for unprofessional conduct for breach of contract and 2 cases for unprofessional conduct. And even though I've gotten where we say this every month, I want to take a second and expound upon this. When we thank the Office of General Counsel, you know, I think I'm the longest serving member of the board for the next hour or so. So that's allowed me to see the number of cases that had built up, especially coming out of the pandemic. And they have been extremely diligent in working that down while protecting the educators' rights, their due process, but then also embracing alternative resolutions. So and I know the board members put a lot of time and effort into reading those files, and a lot of discussion and deliberation takes place in coming up with these decisions, but it's because of the thorough job they do in getting these cases to us. And now as we see, you know, this month we had 10 cases. For a while there, we were running 20 and 25, working on that backlog. So I just want to truly give them a heartfelt shout out today for their efforts.
Thank you for that, and I know we echo that, all of us sitting around the table. We were able to ratify the cases Mr. Walters referred to, and in our full board educator licensure meeting today, we had 3 cases for consideration, and they resulted in a denial for initial certification, public reprimand, and then also a permanent revocation. So we appreciate, again, all of the work of our board members for being prepared for those, but also our Office of General Counsel. Thank you so much. I would like to recognize Mr. Walters again. This time, though, to present the nomination committee selection for the 2024.
My last time in the spotlight. So our committee met on November 28th. We met by phone, Ms. Lee and Ms. Delaney Frierson and myself, to discuss the selection for the 2024 chair-elect position. And the committee is elected by unanimous consent to present the name of the Honorable Rita Allison as the governor's appointee is the committee's nominee for the 2024 chair-elect.
Okay, thank you so much. It is the recommendation of the nomination committee that Rita Allison be named the State Board of Education Chair-elect for 2024. Are there any recommendations from the floor? If there are no further recommendations, I will entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Dr. O'Shields. We have a motion. Do we have a second? My goodness, Ms. Crimminger, I think I heard you first. Do we have any discussion? Okay, all in favor, please vote by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. So next, I would actually like to invite Dr. O'Shields and Ms. Allison to the center here. And as my final action as chair, I will swear you in, Dr. O'Shields, and then you can take over.
Does that mean I keep swearing?
No, don't swear to me, please.
You'll get sworn at.
All right, we'll start, and I'll swear you in, and then you'll be able to swear Ms. Allison in. So if you would just repeat after me. I
David O'Shields,
do solemnly swear that I will uphold the duties
that I will solemnly swear to uphold the duties
and the laws of the state of South Carolina
and the laws of the state of South Carolina
based on statutes governing operations
based on statutes governing operations
of the South Carolina State Board of Education.
of the South Carolina State Board of Education. I,
Rita Allison,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will uphold the duties
that I will uphold the duties
and the laws
and the laws
of the state of South Carolina
of the state of South Carolina
based on statutes
based on statutes
governing operations
governing operations
of the South Carolina State Board of Education.
of the South Carolina State Board of Education.
The other thing about that hammer is only people that were worthy could lift it, so I'm not sure, Dr. Stapleton, that I am yet worthy. But we will do our best. The consent agenda has been presented to you today. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
All right. Ms. Slaughter has made a motion to approve the consent agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
Dr. Hanley is seconded. That motion, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed by like sign. No like signs. The motion carries. If you would, please, I would like to bring for approval Teresa Penny, Associate Engineer, Office of School Facilities for the Division of District Operations and Support. She will have a couple of different items as referenced earlier by Dr. Stapleton.
Yeah, hey, good afternoon, y'all. I have the two items we talked about earlier for Florence School District 1 and Lawrence County District 56. They're two properties that the districts want to pass off. The first one's kind of cut and dry. It is 4.13 acres owned by the district. They have presented it to charter schools because they have first right of refusal. No charter schools want this property, so they want to sell it to Durbin Acquisitions LLC. So they're proposing to get rid of this property that they are no longer using and don't have any plans to use. So that's number one.
All right, so you have heard that one. We will entertain a motion for the approval of this property disposal.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Walters. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Frierson. Thank you very much. All in favor of the request for approval of property disposal, Florence 1 School District, if you would, please vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Any of those like signs? The ayes have it. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, the next one's Lawrence County School District 56. They currently have a building that they're only using a small portion for, it is for science. They want to actually give this to partner with the Union Lawrence Commission on Higher Education for USC Union Campus to use. This is good for the school community and others around for educational and other services. With that being said, the small portion that the district is using, they want to continue to use it, so they are going to give this, have a transfer to Union's Lawrence Commission, and then for $1 a year, they want to continue their science program to let their students use it, so it will be a collaboration with both. And I was also informed today, the charter school district is actually also using the same science area for their benefits as well. So they are proposing to transfer this property.
You have heard the recommendation from Ms. Penny. Is there a motion for the request of approval of property disposal for Lawrence County School District 56?
Move.
Thank you, Ms. Allison. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Shore. Thank you very much. All in favor of this request, please indicate by saying aye.
Can I say one thing? I'm so sorry. Because in our committee meeting this morning, I know you recused yourself, just so it could be reflected in the minutes.
And I was going to say, I was not voting because this, a little backstory behind this. This school was actually the first school I attended in 1970. It was previously the all-black high school, built at the same time Clinton High School was built, Bell Street was built. But in 1970, I was there as a student, and that school had always had an important part to me as a student, later as a teacher, then as principal. So in some cases, this now just elevates the importance of this school now as an institution of higher learning with USC Union. So I will recuse myself, but I do want to say
They didn't even need that. They thought it was a great idea already.
thank you very, very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Also, in looking, would at this time Sandra Amons please come forward? She is going to talk with us, go over again with us, the South Carolina College and Career Ready Mathematics Standards for second reading. Ms. Amons.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It is my pleasure, on behalf of the Office of Assessment and Standards and all those who participated in the review and revision processes, to provide an overview of the South Carolina College and Career Ready Mathematics Standards. The following slides highlight a few key points shared during the first read with some additional information. As you can see from this timeline, the development of the draft of the revised math standards has been quite an extensive process that began in 2021. Upon approval of the standards document, the Office of Assessment and Standards will develop supplemental resources and statewide professional development to include face-to-face, regional, and virtual sessions, along with webinars and online courses, with full implementation for instruction and assessment in the 2025-26 school year. Development of the assessment aligned to the new standards will begin once full approval of the standards has been granted. The math team is already planning for resources that will be needed for standards implementation. You may remember the document comparison slides from the first read. On the left, you'll see the structure of the 2015 standards. On the right, you'll see changes that were made in the 2023 standards document. I'll give you a moment to look over the slide. To highlight a few key points, notice the organization of the 2023 document with learning that progresses through the indicators, consistent grade band standards, and the prioritization of learning leading to the overall reduction of indicators. On this slide, make note of the mathematical process standards with specific grade band descriptions, the focus on data from kindergarten through high school, and the advanced level standards for 7th and 8th grade students. This graphic from Appendix A of the standards document shows the new course pathway options for high school students. You may recall from the first read presentation that geometry with statistics comes before Algebra 1 in the 2023 Math Standards document. The redesigned geometry with statistics eliminates the need for remedial courses prior to Algebra 1. The redesign and reorder of geometry in Algebra 1 does not change the fact that Algebra 1 is the gateway course. The Office of Assessment and Standards strongly recommends that Algebra 1 remain the EOC EP course. After completing Algebra 1, students have a choice in pathways. They may follow the traditional college readiness pathway to Algebra 2 with probability, and then have 4th course options found in the box on the right. The other pathway for career or military readiness moves from Algebra 1 to a box at the bottom of the graphic. However, if students decide to attend college, they can jump back up to Algebra 2 with probability and follow the college pathway. Alternately, a student could move from Algebra 2 with probability down to one of the courses in the career military pathway. You may have noticed that the document submitted for this second reading looks different than the document submitted for the first reading. Based on recommendation from the Education Oversight Committee during the review process, an external vendor was hired to edit the document for formatting, grammar, clarity, and consistency. No content was changed. Thank you. The Office of Assessment and Standards is requesting final approval of the 2023 South Carolina College and Career Ready Mathematics Standards.
You have heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion for the approval of the South Carolina College and Career Ready Math Standards as we have heard for second reading?
So moved.
Thank you, Ms. Kriminger. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Shore. Are there any questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays or like signs? All right, thank you very, very much, Ms. Amos.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, at this time, if we could, please have Dr. Ferguson, if he would come up, please, and he will provide us information with 3 different items. So, Dr. Ferguson?
Good afternoon. So I know I stand between you and the dismissal, so I will keep this short and sweet. You have heard me talk quite a bit today about the literacy competencies, also the reading assessment for initial certification, and also the adoption of instructional materials around ELA. I want to thank you for that work, but I think we've talked about that quite a bit today, so I will skip the literacy update, but just know that we are working for clarity of mission and alignment of resources towards the goal of increasing student achievement across South Carolina, and I think we are making great strides in that work. On the Allendale and Williamsburg front, I wanted to make you aware of an event I had the great opportunity to go with Superintendent Weaver to attend, where in Allendale we unveiled the Meeting Street Scholarship opportunity. So all students who are now in Allendale who are eligible can receive up to $10,000 per year for 4 years towards their college tuition. And that was made possible by a generous donor who gave to all the eligible students in Allendale. And it was great to sit in that auditorium and see many, many children whose lives could be changed because they were currently eligible or tracking towards eligibility as they were getting ready to embark upon their college career. And $10,000 a year or $40,000 is a lot of money, and you could see in the faces of those kids that some who may not have been really sure they could afford college now saw that as a real possibility. So that was a great event. that was really an awesome place to be, to see those kids' lives potentially changed. And kind of building upon that, also in Allendale and Williamsburg, Superintendent Weaver has announced the Excellence in Teaching Award for all the teachers who are in both Allendale and Williamsburg. There will be strategic compensation pilots started this year, and so teachers who are teaching hard in the classroom and are seeing student achievement increase, there will be additional compensation to award those teachers for that hard work and student growth. The details of that are still being worked out, but we are looking to announce and work with all the teachers on the parameters and the rules around that beginning in January. But both superintendents, the district office, and the principals are really excited about what that is going to be able to do for those teachers, both as a recruitment tool to bring more folks into Allendale and Williamsburg to serve in those classrooms, but also as a retention tool to keep those good teachers who are already there serving kids every day. So those are all of the updates that I have for you, and happy to take any questions.
Are there any questions of Dr. Ferguson? Thank you, sir.
Y'all, all Merry Christmas.
Thank you. All right, no.
Chair, may I approach?
Yes, sir. That means I've already messed up.
Motion and second, but not a vote. Number two.
Okay, thank you. Very good. Like I said, only mistake. One time, yet. All right. Dealing with the request for approval of property disposal, Lawrence County School District 56. I can't vote. We do have Ms. Allison and Ms. Short, but we need the vote because I had to recuse myself. I moved right on. So is there a vote? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. USC Union thanks you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Please, remember to give your travel forms to Tracy. However, this is the me and me, because you have to make it yours. This is the holiday season, and I always go back to one of two things: Charlie Brown Christmas or How the Grinch Stole Christmas. That's just that's my two go-to pitches. But the phrase from the Grinch said, then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more. And what I think we need to look at here is in giving that which does not cost. You can give love. You can give joy. You can give hope. You can be the present by being present for others. May that be our message, and may we have truly a happy holiday by being present in the moment for someone. Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Oh, that was quick. Is there a second? All in favor, please indicate by saying aye and getting out. Aye. Thank you.